Hello, humans! I'm Carrie, your chaotic good licensed mental health counselor, with the mission of providing you with a user's manual for the operation of your own brain. I'll be sharing scientifically backed info and tips for living your best life, and I'll tell you why they work. Which brings me to today's topic: how to sleep. So you, like most of us at one time or another, are probably having trouble with sleep. Damn, that sucks. As I imagine you don't need me to tell you at this point, not getting enough sleep can literally make your brain work more slowly, reduce your emotional intelligence, make you depressed, and even make you more likely to crash your car. So what do you do while you're lying there, face ineffectually smushed into your pillow as the minutes tick mercilessly towards a new day? We'll get to that. But you're actually going to get a lot more bang for your buck with the choices you make during your waking hours. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Insomnia at night is affected by choices you make during the day. This part 1 is about daytime. Part 2 of this video is about nighttime. Okay, so what are the things you can do? Let's talk about how to get your circadian rhythm working properly. Basically, your brain contains a clock. If you leave someone in a room with no windows, they will still follow a sleep and wake pattern that mirrors what humans do in the regular world. A natural, healthy brain creates waves of the hormones cortisol and melatonin throughout the 24-hour cycle in this beautiful sun-wavy pattern. However, because most of us make stupid-ass decisions, such as pushing past our natural sleep impulses, compensating by sleeping in, and/or are subject to the impacts of living in a capitalist society that engenders callous disregard for the physiological and/or mental well-being of its citizens, such as by requiring us to continuously override our biological impulses to pursue some external, future-oriented definition of success, our hormone output looks like this. So what can we do? First, let's talk about cortisol. If you've ever heard of this wonder beast of a substance before, it was probably in the context of stress. Too much cortisol is really bad for you, leading to impacts on your mental and physical health like depression, increased susceptibility to infections, and unhealthy visceral fat. However, a small dose is actually good. It's the starter pistol that gets you out of bed in the morning. Turns out, the right amount of stress and discomfort is actually a good thing. In therapy, we're more interested in your ability to tolerate discomfort than we are in making sure that you never feel discomfort again, because that would turn you into a Stepford wife happiness zombie. So you need a little cortisol at the right time to say, hey brain, it's time to get up and go. How do you make that happen? If you remember nothing else from this video, here comes the most important point, also known as thing you can do number 1. Wake up at the same time every day, no matter what, even on weekends. Yes, really.
Can I sleep in because my sleep last night was crappy?
Nope. Tough cookies. We want to fix your problem long term, so go ahead and limp through your day, soldier. Similarly, if you're still in the building a rhythm stage, avoid napping as much as possible. People's mileage with caffeine seems to vary, so do what works for you, though in general, I shoot for as little as possible. Waking up at the same time every day should give you a ton of bang for your buck, and I suggest making it your top priority from this list. This is what I recommend for clients with overwhelming jobs or family or financial concerns. Actually, let's talk about privilege for a hot second before we get into more science. Money, time, the physical energy to get shit done, and the ability to exercise choice within one's daily rhythms are all finite resources. Most of my suggestions for sleep are low cost or free in these dimensions, but not all. Even if only one of these things ends up being feasible for you to work on, it will still be helpful, even if you can't do them all. Okay, here's thing you can do number 2. Properly use seasonal affective disorder lamps, aka sad lamps, aka happy lamps. By the way, how are they known both as sad and happy lamps? They also help get you up in the morning by setting off that starter pistol of cortisol. By the way, seasonal affective disorder is a circadian rhythm disorder. Anyway, these lamps, whatever their affective state may be, are tools and deserve an appropriate and thorough treatment of their proper use. For example, you should probably not use them if you've ever had a manic episode. If you're suffering enough that you're considering investing in a lamp, you should be seeking medical attention anyway. What else can you do during the day? Thing number 3, set up your room and get it as dark as possible, such as by using blackout curtains or whatever else you can comfortably put over your windows or your eyes. within reason. Don't win a Darwin Award. And if you can, find a way to get your room cool to about 18 degrees Celsius or 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't get me wrong, personally I hate the cold, and that temperature would be too uncomfortable for me during the day, but it will help knock you out at night. Also, there are other things you can think about, including earplugs, weighted blankets, the quality and timing of your exercise and food intake, but going into detail on all those things would be too much for one video, and plus, I'm a shrink, not an MD. Okay, that's it for part 1 on daytime stuff. If that sounds good so far, please hit like and subscribe, and join us again in part 2 for more about what you can do at night.